Well, we begin this news hour in Yemen, where Houthi rebels have released hundreds of Saudi UAE fighters as a gesture of goodwill, in the hope it will lead to a larger exchange of prisoners. Now, this comes a day after Houthi commanders showed video footage that they claimed showed the capture of thousands of Saudi-backed fighters. That happened during what the Houthis say was a wider assault inside Saudi Arabia, close to the city of Najran, near the Saudi-Yemen border. And in the past few hours, the Red Cross confirmed it has overseen the release and transfer of 290 prisoners, even though Houthi forces say they've released 350 detainees. Well, Houthis say the release was undertaken as a show of sincerity to their part of the Swedish ceasefire agreement.
We reiterate our commitment to a prisoner swap deal. That has not changed. It is today as it was, and we are prepared and willing to execute an all-inclusive swap deal, whether they are Yemenis or other nationalities. To prove our veracity, we have initiated an unconditional release of 350 prisoners from the other side. We have called on the United Nations to pressure the coalition to reciprocate. This initiative falls within the Swedish agreement, and today we are going to execute and honour this agreement under the plans and knowledge of the United Nations and the Swedish agreement.
Mohammed al-Attab has more from Sanaa.
Houthis, by releasing unconditionally those prisoners of war, want to send a message to the world that they are willing to continue their obligations toward the peace agreement of Sweden, and also that these prisoners of war who have been released today, among them 40 prisoners of war who have survived the Saudi attack on the detention center in Dammar. Also, they are preparing to release 3 prisoners of war who are from the Saudi nationalities, but they have to coordinate with the International Red Cross Committee. They have also, during the press, condemned what they described the Saudi recruitment of children in the defense of their southern border. They said that they have recruited children with the age of 13 and 16 years old. So they are calling in the world during the press that there are the deaths of those who have been killed during their latest operations. They are laying there, and the international community and the International Red Cross haven't been able to reach those who have been killed, as they are laying on the ground where the operation has taken place.
Well, let's get more on this. Nathalie Bekdache is the spokeswoman for the International Committee of the Red Cross and joins us now by Skype from Aden. Nathalie, your organisation helped to oversee this prisoner release. What more can you tell us about that?
Yes, today the International Committee of the Red Cross oversaw the release of 290 detainees that were held in Al-Amana Central Prison in Sanaa. Our role in this particular release was to first conduct pre-departure interviews with all the detainees to verify their identities, and also to check with them if they have any concerns, where they would like to go when they are released, so that we can also help with the transfer. We provided monetary incentives for their transfer. We also had medical staff on site. As per all our releases, there's always a medical staff on site that checks the health of the detainees, and if anybody needs special measures to be transferred, we also work with the authorities to do that. 2 Yemeni detainees were actually transferred to their areas of origin through the Yemeni Red Crescent Society ambulances.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Where were you transferring them to?
Yes.
Were you transferring them to Saudi Arabia? Were these Saudi prisoners?
Today, the 290 detainees were all Yemenis.
They were all Yemenis. Okay, now, but these are prisoners which were taken by the Houthis. They have called on Saudi Arabia to mimic their gesture, to release prisoners that are being held by their side. Has your organisation been asked to intervene, releasing prisoners held by the Saudi side?
We, of course, welcome any request for the International Committee of the Red Cross to be part in any release operation. So we definitely hope that other sides will take this initiative and request the International Committee of the Red Cross to partake in a release operation. Now,
there's some discrepancy with the numbers here. The Houthis are saying they've released 350. The Red Cross have said it's only been 290. How do you account for the discrepancy between the two figures?
Yes, of course, we can account for the numbers that were released today in our presence, but there may have been detainees that were released at another time without the facilitation of the Red Cross. So this discrepancy perhaps comes from that.
And in terms of you're working on the ground, you're working in Yemen. We've seen things progressing on a military, on the military side of it, but certainly the focus is now turning to bringing an end to this conflict. Are you hopeful that with this gesture by the Houthi side, are you hopeful that this may lead to more talks or to more prisoner exchanges?
Of course, we hope, this is definitely our hope, that this release, which of course has brought a lot of relief to the families who have been suffering, missing their loved ones or not knowing where they are. The people who were released today were our fathers, sons, brothers. Of course, we hope to see more initiatives in the future, bigger numbers from all sides. And as the International Committee of the Red Cross, we are always ready to act as a neutral facilitator, just as we did today, in any future release operation. So definitely we are hopeful, and we also hope that this release contributes to the revival of the Stockholm Agreement and that more releases happen in the future.
OK, Nathalie Bekdache speaking to us from Aden in Yemen. Thank you very much indeed.